Hello adventurers, I'm Gray and aw man, it's that time of year again. I am so excited. It's a new Hytale blog update. And this one is going to be about new rendering effects, upgraded atmospheric audio, and the progress they're making with Hytale's farming system. Now I know I've been slacking a little bit on the Hytale content, especially since my channel was supposed to be a Hytale based channel. However, to be fair, there hasn't been many updates recently. The last one was on December 12th of last year, so it's been a little over a month and a half. But I am so excited because it's a pretty big update, and it looks like they're all going to be pretty big progress updates now. At the end of the last post, they said that they're going to take time off for the holidays, so you can expect the next post in January. And they waited until the very end of January to give us something that hopefully turns out to be really good. So here it is, progress update, January 29th, 2020. I got to this one a bit late because I was at school today. So, hi everyone, in this post we're going to round up a selection of the development activity that has been taking place since the team returned from their holiday break. We'll take a look at some experimental new rendering techniques, take a deep dive into Hytale's upgraded atmospheric audio system, and revisit farming to show the progress we're making there. I'm just going to give a little intro to what's going on here. Usually in these updates I read through everything, give some comments and predictions and thoughts and things like that, and just kind of give us some time to discuss it in the comments and things like that. So it's been a busy month for all of us as we gear up for an important and exciting year in the life of Hytale. As we outlined in November's development update, the success of the original announcement has allowed us to be more ambitious about every aspect of this project, and over the last year we spent a lot of time determining the best way forward for both Hytale and the team. Now is the time for us to start putting those plans into action, and we're looking forward to sharing the results with you. Right now, however, it's time to look at some cool new rendering effects. So I'm not quite sure what to expect since they've taken a break over the holidays, so I'm not sure how much progress they could have made during this time. However, I expect development to really pick up coming up in the future, especially since they know that there's high expectations on them now, and they have the budget and the time to put a lot of effort into making the game as best as they want it to be by the time it releases in the beta. So, let's take a look here. Ice effects. And we'll zoom in here. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. So, you'll see there's ice stalagmites on the left, or just ice pillars coming up out of the ground, and they kind of reflect the light coming off of it. They look almost a little bit out of place, not in a bad way though. Like, they look more realistic than the ground that surrounds them. It does look really cool though. I like how the light sort of refracts through it and all that stuff. Okay. So, is there anything special we can spot here? There's a snow owl. There's the rams, of course, down here. I don't think there's anything else really hidden, because they said they'd be careful not to spoil much by hiding things in the background. They're being very careful now. We're continuing to expand the capabilities of Hytale's engines with new features and effects. This month we started testing new rendering tech for ice blocks. This is particularly effective in the wintry climates of Zone 3. I mean, they put climes, but it's supposed to be climates, I assume. Adding a greater sense of depth to areas. Clearly the extra time they're spending on these blog posts are paying off. sorry. Where spires of ice emerge from frigid landscapes and frozen over cave entrances promise new opportunities to explore. Oh, okay. So this guy's mining through the ice, and does it become water whenever you dig through it? It doesn't look like it. And it looks... Actually, I do like the ice. I think I need to see it in real action, like in a video form, for me to really get a feel for it. But it looks cool. It's definitely different from Minecraft style of ice, which is just a texture. This has a lot more lighting effects and things going on with it. This feature is still very much at the development stage, and as with everything we share in these progress updates, is likely to continue to evolve as work continues. In this case, the team is in the process of ensuring this new rendering works properly when combined with blocks of all kinds. You can find out more about the improvements we're making to Hytale's engine in November's graphics update post. Once again, this blog will be linked in the description if you want to go here, and all these links are in the blog, of course, as well. I'd recommend reading it yourself. It gives you a better feel for what's going on, and you can take it at your own pace. But here we have another little image of the ice sort of in the walls and on the ground in a frozen lake. There's another snow owl going on there, which they really seem to like promoting for Zone 3. And I like the mix of gravel with the snow and the lakes and all that stuff. It makes for a nice little mix rather than just having like a plain body of water. Along with the ice on the walls, I think that's pretty cool. So, ambient sound improvements. Is it ambient or ambient? Depends who you ask. Sound designer Kieran Fitzpatrick, whose work on Creature Audio we featured last year, has been hard at work on some extensive improvements to the ambient sound system. You want to turn your volume up for the rest of the clips in this post. If you've got headphones, now's the time to use them. That's not just a quote from them to me, that's from me to you guys too. Put on your headphones, we're going to listen to this. Let's go. I love audio, so I hope this is really good. We'll full screen it. Oh, okay. So the rain will... So yeah, it sounds like it's hitting the roof and the outside once you walk indoor. That's nice. Okay, so it takes a little bit more time than I hope for it to transition, but it's still being worked on, I'm sure. I like how it sounds, though. It sounds really nice. It's more realistic rain than what I'm used to in these types of games, that's for sure. Now, what I'm wondering is, when you're indoors, you hear it hitting the roof and stuff like that, but will it change the type of sound it makes based off what material the roof is made out of? Because landing on a tile roof would sound way different from landing on a hay roof or a stone roof. So I'm wondering how different it's going to be, and how detailed this type of system is going to be. In this clip, you can hear how both the sound of the weather outside and the noises produced by the player character change as they step from rainy moorland to the interior of a gloomy tower. These effects are achieved dynamically by taking advantage of ambience zones, effectively a set of rules for adjusting audio properties that can be customized based on factors like weather, time of day, the number of walls, and more. I love that because that means that this is entirely customizable. Modders can mess with this just like how they can mess with basically everything in the game. In fact, making it a zone makes it very easy to understand. So even people who aren't that skilled at being creative or modding and things like that could probably find ways to adjust these to make something silly or make something fun. So moving on here, we'll just listen to it first and then we'll read the description. Oh, wildlife ambience. Oh, look at that water! I don't know, I just love the water every time I see it, I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of nice water in games. Okay, so this is both a mix of the swampland wildlife ambience and how it changes when you go underwater. Ambience zones can be layered on top of one another in an additive fashion. In this case, the wind, birdsong, and cicadas are all separate ambience zones that merge according to the situation. The system takes into account the ratio of specific block types in the area around the player. Oh, so based off the blocks and trees and stuff you have around, it could change it? Oh, that's what it just goes into. So an area with lots of tree blocks is more likely to be accompanied by the sound of wind in the leaves or branches creaking in the breeze. Ambient zones can also affect one another. For example, a weather event like a storm will cause the birds to go quiet as if they've flown to take shelter. When the player dives into the water, the ambiance changes again. Underwater audio is based on fluid type. Fluids of a different viscosity can create different effects, so swimming in water will sound different to swimming in lava. That makes sense. We don't recommend swimming in lava unless... What if there's an item similar to... What was it called? There's an item in Terraria that makes you immune to lava for a while. What if there's something like that, where you can just dive into the lava? And what if there's like hidden treasures and things to explore and structures and stuff under the lava? Maybe some under the lava civilization? Come on, Hytale Studios, Hypixel Studios, I'm right here. I don't want to give you too many ideas for free, but I'm open for hiring. Anyway, moving on, we have another thing to listen to, so let's do it. I like the footstep patterns. Oh, don't jump in there! Oh, he's fine, never mind. He's in creative mode. I like the torches, the sounds that these, they look more like lantern. I guess they could be torches though. They have a nice crackling effect. Okay. I like the log cabin, or that cabin just in the woods. I can't tell if it's made of logs or not. Honestly, I feel like having a campfire in this game would be really cozy, which there are campfires, so that's going to make a good time. Like, campfires in Minecraft are nice, but they're not exactly cozy like you'd expect them to be. Like, if you're real camping, they don't give off the sounds and stuff like that that you'd really want, so this sounds like it could be really good. No, we disabled fall damage for this clip. Yeah, I pointed that out. Okay, this clip illustrates a transition from an outdoor area to the echoing ambience of a deep underground cavern. In addition, the player encounters a number of sound-emitting environmental features. You can hear torches burning, so they are torches, and the sound of rocks crumbling deeper in the cave. In the next clip, we're going to hear how the same techniques are used to create the creepy, foreboding atmosphere of a scarab nest, which, if you don't remember what those are basically the bad bug, beetle type things, monsters in the Zone 2. So, let's get going. Oh god, I don't like this. It reminds me a bit of like... This is really unsettling. This is really, really unsettling. I don't know, for a moment I was thinking like something from Gears, but I don't know why it reminded me of Gears. I think there was something in Gears that maybe it was that thing that where you were inside a worm in Gears and it had like all the internals and stuff like that. It's squishy. It's like this. It's very unsettling. Like the audio is more unsettling than the actual visuals. Not saying it's not freaky. I love it though. That's such a great atmosphere. This demonstrates how ambience zones and emitter sounds can be combined to give an area a specific audio identity. The distant howling winds combined with the eerie squelching of scarab eggs and reverberating underground ambience to create the sense that this is somewhere you probably don't want to stick around in. Of course, we have other ways to let the player know that they've wandered into the wrong cavern. Okay, this is going to be a lava cavern. We're going to hear popping of lava. Oh, that's cute. I love that. Okay, let me pause it when this guy pops up. Because this guy's a new creature. We haven't seen him before. I mean, I wish I could get this play button out of the way, but it's some sort of a magma creature. I don't know his name. I'm thinking like magma golem or something. But he looks like he has two little thin eyes and then a big mouth. And he's just like, hey, I'm gonna wreck you up. Yeah, and you can't really pass through without fighting him unless you. Well, I guess you could build around, but where's the fun in that? You know, you gotta fight your way through. So next we have farming progress. Farming is an area of Hytale that is currently deep in development. I know that they want to make the system unique and different from other games in the same genre. I wish them luck in doing that because farming is hard to make fun. Like the one game I've seen where it was really fun to farm, Stardew Valley. Beyond that, like Minecraft farming is not the most fun. Like I'll enjoy it sometimes, but it gets really tedious after a while. So I want to see how they do this and make it really enjoyable. But recently they've been adding new crop types and incorporating new assets to illustrate their growth from seedlings to ripe harvestable produce. To illustrate this, here's a time-lapse video showing a small batch of crops developing over the course of several in-game days. From what I see, it seems very similar to the Minecraft system, or basically any farming system, really, where it goes through phases and then they suddenly pop up higher. I mean, I don't dislike the system, honestly. I just feel like I hope that there's more to it, and from what I've gathered, there's watering cans and all sorts of stuff you can use, and unlike Minecraft, you don't need water pools literally everywhere to get these crops to grow effectively. So there's some differences there, and I'm sure it's going to go more in a moment. Of course, crops don't thrive without help. Yep, I called it. Properly tilled ground and water is essential for ensuring you receive a bumper harvest, and a little fertilizer wouldn't hurt. We've recently added some important new models and effects to the game, along with new AI behaviors that allow Hytale's various creatures to contribute to your farm in their own special way. Oh, that's pretty nice. You know, I was talking earlier about how I think Stardew Valley got farming right, and that's because Stardew Valley has all sorts of tools at your disposal that you can use for farming. There's a whole progression system where you can upgrade your tools and equipment and feel like you're constantly getting better and better at it the further you go. And adding fertilizer like this, I think is a nice idea. It gives it a nice touch that makes farming more complex, gives you more options to improve your farm, and I'm hoping that they take this even further and have a good progression system for farming in Hytale. So, TLDR, animals can poop now. That's the summary of this blog post, everyone. What a crappy blog post. Oh god. Thanks for reading our latest progress update. You can expect our next blog post in February. So they're going for once a month now. Once a month progress updates. That's what's going to happen now. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on all of those with my own comments on them as well. In the meantime, keep an eye on our official Twitter feed over the coming days. This blog isn't the only place you can see some new Hytale material this month. Basically, they're going to be filling in the time between blog posts with Twitter updates of random new info, and that's going to be difficult for me because I don't use Twitter, which makes me a bad YouTuber because every YouTuber apparently uses Twitter. I don't know, I just hate Twitter and I don't want to use Twitter, but I'll check out their Twitter every once in a while, and at least it has a link to it right here, so if you guys want to check it out as well, the blog post, and I'm going to link their Twitter in the description as well if you don't want to go to the blog post, in case you want to keep up with all the updates that are going to come out in the coming month. So, that's all for this blog post. It was pretty interesting, somewhat light, but I can tell that they're making some big strides in improving all their stuff, and I'm really grateful for the open communication they've shifted to giving us recently, and even whenever there's not huge updates to give, they're still willing to show us the progress they're making, and we can tell that they have grand goals for what they're trying to do, and I fully support them in that endeavor. So, that's all for now. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Subscribe for more Hytale content, and I'll see you all on the next adventure.